Hello and welcome back to the Shutter Sports Refresh, the weekly show that breaks down all the most important news in sports for you. I'm your host, Lucky Roberts, and let's get right into it. We'll kick things off with our usual playoff talk as the NBA has nearly reached the end of its conference finals. Let's start in the Western Conference where the number 1 seed and reigning champion OKC Thunder are facing the number 2 San Antonio Spurs in what has been an unforgettable series so far. These two teams have had a bit of a rivalry going on in the regular season, and that bad blood has definitely carried into the playoffs so far. Game 1 was one of the most exciting playoff games in NBA history. It was a back and forth battle that ended up going into overtime. The Spurs' 7'4" superstar Victor Wembanyama scored a ridiculous 41 points with 24 rebounds to go along with nearly a half-court shot to tie the game with less than 30 seconds left. The Spurs ended up taking that victory too closely in Game 1. The Thunder then battled back to take the next 2 games, and the Spurs took Game 4 to tie things up at 2-2. In the Eastern Conference, the series has not been quite as close. The number 3 New York Knicks are dominating the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Knicks made a miraculous 22-point comeback in the fourth quarter to take Game 1, and they've been on cruise control, blowing the Cavaliers out in Games 2 and 3 for a 3-0 series lead and taking the fourth one to win the series. The Knicks are now the hottest team in the NBA right now, having won their last 11 games in a row. Come back next week to see which teams advance the NBA Finals and which team faces the New York Knicks in the finals. Let's check out the NHL now, which has nearly been done with its conference finals as well. Starting in the Eastern Conference, it's been an exciting series so far between the number 1 Carolina Hurricanes and the number 4 Montreal Canadiens. The Canadiens just barely scraped their way out of the second round after a 7-game series with the Buffalo Sabres, but they've shown no signs of tiredness against the Hurricanes so far. Despite the Hurricanes having not lost a single game in the playoffs prior to the series, the Canadiens came out firing with a 6-2 win in Game 1, where their stars Juraj Slavkovsky racked up an impressive 2 goals and 1 assist. Game 2 is a close overtime battle where the Hurricanes were able to squeeze out the win, with the series currently tied at 1-1. Moving over to the Western Conference now, where the battle between the number 1 Colorado Avalanche and the number 2 Vegas Golden Knights has had some unexpected results, to say the least. The Avalanche have been seen as the top contender to win the Stanley Cup playoffs all playoffs long, but one of their top players in Cale Makar has been dealing with an injury, and it has cost them. The Golden Knights and their star Mitch Marner have been on fire and won the series in a sweep against the Colorado Avalanche. All of a sudden, the championship favorite Avalanche are out of the playoffs. Come back to see next week to see which team faces off against the Golden Knights. We're staying on the topic of playoff news. The PWHL has officially finished up its playoffs with a champion being crowned. We left you off last week with the number 1 Montreal Alliance holding a 2-1 lead over the number 2 Ottawa Charge, with just 1 win away from winning the Walter Cup Championship. And folks, the Alliance were able to do it with a win in Game 4, powering their way with a 4-0 win. That means the Montreal Alliance are officially the 2026 Walter Cup champions. Congratulations to them. Finals MVP for the Alliance was their star scorer, Marie-Philippe Poulin. Let's move on to some tennis now, where the French Open kicked off yesterday morning. This is the second of the 4 Grand Slam tournaments go down throughout the year, now with the Australian Open having already gone down in January. No major upsets have gone down in either the men's or women's brackets throughout the first day, other than the number 7 seed on the men's side, Taylor Fritz, losing his first round matchup in 4 sets. Come back next week to the refresh and we'll have all the details about how the first few rounds go. Next up, it's time to talk about European soccer as the Champions League finals go down this Saturday. The 2 teams battling out is Arsenal and the reigning champions PSG. Both these teams have been red hot throughout the Champions League playoffs and their respective domestic leagues as well. Arsenal just officially won the EPL, the Premier League, just a couple of days ago, and PSG has been dominating the French Ligue 1 all season. It'll be a battle of 2 giants in the Champions League finals, so make sure to come back to the refresh to check out the results. And for our last piece of news this week, the F1's Canadian Grand Prix went down in Montreal over the weekend. The winner of this one was Mercedes' A.K. Antonelli, who's been dominant in nearly every single race this season. Thanks to Mercedes' superior car build, the driver Antonelli has won 4 of 5 races so far, with the only other winning being fellow Mercedes driver George Russell. With that dominance, Mercedes is currently set to cruise to a constructor standings victory this season. Second place in the Canadian Grand Prix was Lewis Hamilton of Ferrari, and third place was Max Verstappen of Red Bull. Looking at the driver standings so far, Antonelli and Russell are first and second place, with Charles Leclerc of Ferrari in third. The next F1 race is the Monaco Grand Prix on June 7th. And that will do it for this week's episode of the Shutter Sports Refresh. I've been your host, Lucky Roberts, and I hope you learned something today. You can check me and our writer for this episode, Finn Noel, out on Instagram right here. Also, make sure to check out the Shutter Sports Refresh Instagram account, where we post breaking news updates, not just a weekly recap. Thanks for watching.